guys, welcome back to the channel. Ghostbake SuperCoach here with our round 9 preview and trade plans. It's been an interesting start to the week already. Obviously recording this after the Hawthorn and Freo game last night. So we'll have a look at how we've started so far and then go through our trade plans, our thoughts and whatnot, and obviously our VC and Cs as well. So we'll start last night. Perez not named. Obviously, that's annoying. Brought him in when he was on the bubble. Played, got managed, and now just not getting in the team. So hopefully, hopefully he can get back into the team soon. Otherwise, hopefully Hawthorn stop playing Thursday nights, and then we can use him as a loop for a bit. But as of right now, we haven't been able to do that, unfortunately. So just a non-playing player, unfortunately sitting on the bench. So haven't even been able to use him as a loop like we said. So not the greatest. Speaking of not the greatest, Jordan Clark again. I don't know what he was so consistent last year. I just don't know what the hell's going on. Just sums up the whole fucking year, to be honest. Checked at quarter time. He had one handball, was on 5. Half time he was on like 33 or 35, something like that. So he had a big second quarter. And then it was like 3 points again in the third, and somehow managed to get his way up to a 70 when he was on 37 or something at three-quarter time. It's just dog shit. He's not playing well at home. He's just not playing well. We're stuck with him, though. He's dropped like 90k. I've got too many other problems to worry about than trading him out, so we'll just deal with him. Like his teammate, but luckily for us this time, he actually did something. So Caleb Sarong, I missed the start of this game, but then I did see pretty much the second half onwards, even a bit of the second quarter, and especially the third and last quarter. Sarong was just everywhere, especially that third. He just kept getting the ball, lots of clearances, lots of handball receives, and just took a couple marks and started breaking lines, laid a few tackles. This is what we wanted out of him and what we got out of him in the first like 3 or 4 rounds. He was pretty solid. The last 3 weeks in particular, he's been dog shit. Hasn't turned up. So this was really, really good to see him get the 118. I know a lot of coaches trade him out. Like I said, I wouldn't trade out any of your primos just because the trades are going to start getting low. The rookies aren't going to be great, especially looking next week. Like there's no good rookies. So you either have to take the best that you can or hope that there's a few of the mid-season draft players that come in that are bottom of the barrel, like our Tom McCarthy last year and whatnot. So, yeah, just hold your primos and just see how they go, because any given day they can turn around. You know, he didn't turn up against West Coast, didn't turn up against the Dogs, but a 118 against Hawthorn, who's a much harder matchup, and he was able to do it. So he's capable of it. If you're Primo's capable of it, just going to have to just hold the faith, I think. I wouldn't be jumping off. Same as like Flanders. I know he's probably not going to be a top 6 forward, but there's other things you can do. I think you can wait and flip him at the worst case, but I think you got to hold these blokes just because you know what they can do, and they're still better than rookie options and whatnot. So help save the trades, help save the cash for now. So just looking at what we're going to do. So we've got Roberts against the Giants. Hopefully no Bedford tag and he can go nuts. Whitfield copped a bit of a knock to his Achilles at training and had to ice it up. I think he'll be fine. Might take a bit away from him being a captain option, but I think he'll still smash it. And he's still viable. Essendon are weak as piss, as we know. So, and I can say that because I'm a Don supporter. So Whitfield should have a decent game, I think. Sinclair, just been getting the 90s lately. Up in Darwin, I wouldn't be trusting him as a CO or VC option. Hopefully he can hit the ton again like he has at the start of the year and like he has consistently for the last however many years. But it'd be interesting up there to see how things go. Maybe a bit more dewy and wet and everything like that. Just spoke on Clark. Lockie Ash, Kingsley's reiterated again he's going to persist with him in the midfield. Against Essendon, it's not a bad shout. He consistently, whether he's playing half-back or midfield, racks up the touches. It's always like 28 plus. So he can ton against Essendon for sure. Hopefully, it's just his ball use. He just needs to use it better, and not try and do too much. I've said that the last few reviews and whatnot. He just tries to do too much. So, yeah, if he can just steady hit the targets and be a part of those chains like we want him to be, then I think he'll be fine. Lindsay, break even's 0, projected to get an 80. We know projections don't mean shit, but should make some more coins, so we'll field him. Carroll on the bench. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get from him. Anywhere between a 50 and a 90. Who knows? At the moment, we've got the VC on Butters. And I've just realised, or I didn't just realise, I did look at it last night while the Hawthorn game was on, that ZZ plays tonight, and our only other option for a loop was Marshall, and he also plays tonight. So I'm not going to be able to use the VC loop. I know most people be like, oh shit, if you had chucked on Sarong, you'd nearly take it. But if I had to pick out a Sarong or Clark last night, I would have thrown the VC on Clark. So it hasn't changed my position at all. I just won't be able to loop. So, yeah, I've heard Sanders might be giving Butters a bit of an attention. He did a good job on Sarong last week, but they're two different kettles of fish, Sarong and Zach Butters. So I think he's still a good shout for VC or C if you got the loop. I know most people took Jackson. We don't have him, so we're already fighting back on that. So, yeah, it'll pretty much just have to be a straight C, I think, unless we trade in a non-playing player, which I don't want to do. But that's something we can have a look at. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to do our trades tonight because we'll talk about our targets soon. Nick Dacos probably gonna get tagged, so don't like him as a VC option. Yeah, he can still. He's proven before he can break tags, but I'd rather just not go with him when you know he can potentially get tagged. Bond, still sore. I think he'll still turn out a 115 plus, but whether you risk, I have to go straight C on him, so it's a big risk. So we'll have to suss that out and see how we go with that. I'm probably leaning towards Butters a bit more, but yeah, it's hard to have confidence in this stuff, to be honest. Callahan against the Bombers, I projected a 92. I think he'll go 120. Just don't see anyone that can go with him. I don't see Essendon being able to stop him. As long as he uses the ball well, I think he will shoot up to that like 110 like he did last week. Hopefully a 120 plus would be great. I know a lot of people are jumping in on him now. We paid up for him at 570, so 80k cheaper, 70k cheaper. But we've had him, so at least it's not a trade that we have to use to get him now. Just touched on Sarong already. We've got Farrow, Grill, Murdoch, Blamires, Anderson, Reshko. Surprised Anderson held. Surprised Blamires held, so that's good. But more than likely, Grill and Farrow will, or Blamires, two of the three will make way, if not all three. We're just going to have to decide what we're going to do, which we'll get into that in a sec. Gorn, I still think you can chuck the C on him. I think even if he does play forward against West Coast, if he's going to kick goals in any game, he'll kick them against West Coast. Kicked 1 goal, 2 against Richmond, but that was only with a little bit more time forward than usual, whereas he's been playing pretty, more forward time than that. But when he's in the ruck, I think he's going to dominate 100%. So especially if Heath starts and then Gawn goes in when, Duff Tytler's in there or something like that, I think Gawn will just absolutely smash him. So I might need a bit of a VC, a bit of a pod C at the rate we're going. So yeah, I'm not sure if I've got the balls to risk it. So we'll have to have a look and see how we go. Yeah, Sheasel probably going to get the Jordan tag. LDU is playing, so that he could go to him. But yeah, we'll see how that goes as well. Don't like him as a C. Petrarca, I think he's super solid, but up there as well. It gives you, not sure how it's going to go. Still think he can crank out a 120 plus. Definitely going to need a ceiling score for sure. Flanders, yeah, he just is what he is. Cook, been doing really well. Got a great matchup against Richmond this week. Philippou looks like he's got his tog back. I think he'll do fine against Gold Coast. Just got to keep going. Todd Marshall's going to be one of the most frustrating fucking players. Getting dropped now. I know that the Dogs don't really have a matchup for him, but fuck, like in out, in out, in out. If he had made the money I want him to make, he'd be gone. But there's no point right now. I don't think. Um, yeah, there's not much point. Hopefully he'll be back next week. Otherwise, you can trade him out next week. Lombard starting to go up the ground a bit more, so happy to hold him and see how that goes. Keep his break even low. Hopefully he can make a bit more cash. Steen, now I was keen for him to be rucking against Edwards. They're managing Edwards, so now he's going to have to ruck with Reece Stanley. So it makes it a bit harder, but he's just a bench option anyway. Yeah, because more than likely we'll be trading in a forward this week, so yeah, we'll suss all that out. And also Tanner Bruin in the flex against the Pies, I think he can do all right. So there's our captaincy options. It'll either be our main options would be Butters, Bont, Callahan, or Gorn, and we'll throw Petrarca in as well. They're the five, I think. Probably least likely to put on Bont just because of the injury. I know he's been killing it anyway, but just, yeah, I'm not 100% sold that he'll like get that ceiling again. I think, especially if the Dogs are in front by a bit, if they do get in front, or if they are getting smashed, I think that they'll take him off a bit earlier. And I just don't want to chuck a C on a injured player. As even though it's Bond, because he can still kill it, and it wouldn't surprise me if he gets like I said, a 115 plus is probably just on the cards. Butters, do I really worry about Sanders? Callahan should smash it, and like I said, Gorn I think can still kill it. I need a ceiling score, especially with the blokes that have gone Jackson as captain. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to take a risk and sort of see how we go with that. But Bont and Butters play each other tonight, so I'm going to have to be quick on what I decide to do because we've only got a few hours. In regards to trades, there's two ways we can go about this, and if I had $2,000 more, I think I know where I'd go. Fortunately, I'm just short. So really frustrating. We're looking at, we can either double downgrade and grab both Burton and Sam Cumming. If we do that, we can trade in a forward, which I would be going Zach Bailey at 502k. I can't afford Pickett, but the 50-something K, I think Bailey has a great matchup against Carlton tonight, and his break-even's pretty low, so he's going to jump up in cash. So, and I have to get a forward this week, especially with Marshall out. So I'm probably looking towards doing that. If I was to go that route, the other option, and this is what I mean, because we've got our last boost, is skip Sam Cumming. I can trade in. I'd have to get rid of Grill, Farrow, and Grill, Farrow, Blamires. Two of those guys will go, and I'd have to get rid of Bruin. So I'd either keep Farrow or Blamires out of those, and I can get in a mid, which would be Hugh McCluggage, and a forward, which is 500k or under. Could go J-Mac, but I would probably go Touk Miller, just because I've spoken about him a bit. I think when Gold Coast win, he's good for that safe 100. Probably doesn't have the ceiling that like a Pickett has, or a Zach Bailey, those kind now, just because the role he's playing. But Rowell is still out. He runs all day. I think he's pretty safe for at least these 80s to like 110. So I'd look at bringing him in, because I'm 2,000. If I do even the most expensive, if I kept Lamires and go Farrow, Grill, and Bruin out, I'm 2k short from being able to bring in McCluggage and Bailey. And if I was able to do that, that is 100% what I'd be doing, and I'd be happy to skip Cumming. Which is so awkward saying that, because we always love Cumming. But yeah, so they're the two sort of options I'm looking at in terms of our trades this week. If I do the double upgrade, I won't have much cash next week. If I do the double downgrade, I've got cash, which gives you options, because say a McAndrew needs to go, I'll have 200 something K in the bank to do that. Whereas if I get rid of Bruin, Farrow, Grill, I'd have to be getting rid of two guys, probably Bill Myers, maybe a Lindsay or a Cook. Because yeah, the only way I could get Zach Bailey in this week with McCluggage is if I was to get rid of Cook or Lindsay, and I don't want to do that. Lindsay's break even 0, so he's going to make more cash, and Cook's just got a great matchup and is solid, so don't want to do that either. So we've got to be smart in terms of giving ourselves options for the coming weeks. But yeah, the main targets we want in the next week or two, unless we have to get a ruckman, is Zach Bailey this week looks solid. Hugh McCluggage, I'd rather get him this week than next, but his price won't go up too much. If you watch the Hump Day Pump Up on SuperCoach Pro's channel during the week, we spoke about how McCluggage will go in terms of his cash if he scores pretty well. And then, we've got... I'm happy with Took as well. I'd rather Bailey, but Took is a decent option. And then still looking at blokes that'll come down. I haven't got Grundy, I haven't got Sherry, and I haven't got Jackson, and they're all 650 plus now. So, I don't know, at the moment, if I'm going to have to upgrade, I'm looking at a Tim English, again, probably at 500k if he keeps dropping. Spoke to my boy Scobie, and he did some projections for us. So, if he goes flat 100s the next week or two, both Taranto and Tim English will be sitting at 500k each, which I don't mind jumping on them if I had to. It's just basically when McAndrew is needing a rest, or if they're going to play him all the way to the buys, and then we go from there. But look, that's pretty much it for our preview and our trade thoughts this week. I'm not sure what route we're going to go down. It's probably more sensible to get the rookies in, do the double downgrade, bring in Zach Bailey, who's still, I think, can be a solid scorer, and then look at, your McCluggages and whatnot next week, or at least we've got options with about 230k in the bank. But yeah, the double upgrade also does feel good too. If you can get McCluggage in and Took Miller, it's just about what it leaves us to do over the next couple weeks, because we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we're stuck. So yeah, lots to think about, our captain choices and our trades, but that's basically where we're at for this week. But hope you guys have settled on your trades. Good luck for the week. I hope you smash it, and I hope that whoever you trade in scores well. Don't forget to give us a follow on X/Twitter under ghost_bakes. Give us a follow on that. Stay tuned on Wednesdays. I'm on SuperCoach Pro's channel. We're going to make it a regular thing every Wednesday, the Hump Day Pump Up. So jump on that live stream, give us questions and likes, and give some support to SuperCoach Pro. And yeah, we'll get through our round review and see how we did on Monday. But yeah, other than that, guys, good luck. Hope you kill it, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys.